I'm going to take you around another place in the Basque Country. This is week number 5. I definitely recommend you watch my other previous videos, but this week I'm going to take you to a Basque city which is called Bayonne. Bayonne lies on the river Nive and on the river the Adour, and it's very close to Biarritz. That was I was traveling from. I took the bus T1 from Biarritz. I want to travel to Bayonne. It was very easy. And I didn't regret it because it's such an amazing city. You must have heard of the Bayonne ham. Jambon de Bayonne, anyone? Such an amazing atmosphere during the rugby. Also for chocolate, which I didn't really know about. So this week I'm going to take you around Bayonne. I didn't shoot any videos, so what I'm going to show you is more of a slideshow. First of all, I'm going to take you around what is called the Petit-Bayonne. So Bayonne is divided in two by the river. And you have the Grand-Bayonne and you have the Petit-Bayonne. The Petit-Bayonne, it doesn't mean it's a lesser well-known area, because this is where it happens at night. Maybe during the day it's much quieter. There's quite a lot of restaurants along the river Nive. There's a lot of bars, tapas bars. It's a fantastic place to photograph because you have beautiful houses with very French style, I would say, maybe less so. There's not many half-timbered houses on there. But also you have the red, light blue shutters, which is really recognizable. It's a beautiful point of view. And to photograph it, I definitely recommend you cross one of the bridges. You have the bridge Panaco or you have the bridge Marago. You can just cross one bridge, walk along the river, photograph the facade, and then come back on the other side to continue exploring a little bit the streets on this part of the city, which is called the Petit-Bayonne. So what I would recommend is that you come back in the evening, because this is where the nightlife is happening. And if you want to meet the locals, so you're going to meet a lot of students. But I think this is where it's happening at night, and you're going to find a bit more graffiti on this side. Maybe it's a bit less polished than the other side. But I think it's a very interesting side of Bayonne, and it's called Le Petit-Bayonne. In the Petit-Bayonne, you want to focus on the facade, on the houses around the river. You want to focus on the street next to it, the narrow street, the medieval architecture in the street, but you also might find a little bit more interesting details, like maybe I photographed some graffitis, and also you can focus on the colors, on the shutters. And other things you want to focus on, because this is where it's happening at night. You definitely want to focus on the nightlife, and maybe even asking people if you could photograph them. Challenge yourself a little bit. But now I'm going to take you to the other side of the river, which is called the Grand-Bayonne. The Grand-Bayonne is basically the old town. This is where the commercial heart of the city lies. And this is where you're going to find the cathedral. The cathedral is a masterpiece of Gothic architecture. It's a beautiful piece of work. It's in very good condition. You can visit the inside, and you're going to have beautiful stained glass inside, where the light shifts differently during the time of the day. So focus on the cathedral, but then next to the cathedral you have a cloister, which is absolutely beautiful. It's one of the largest cloisters in France, and it's beautiful inside, and it's I think it's a great place to have a little bit of a peace and quiet away from, because Bayonne there's quite a lot of tourists. So if you want to walk away, have a little bit of peace and quiet, but not only, you have to see this beautiful place. It's really serene, absolutely beautiful architecture. But I love the old town, because at some point I had the feeling I was walking in Tuscany somewhere, in an Italian town. You can really feel the history through the walls of this city. And just take time to wander. Take your camera, wander around. It will be difficult to photograph empty streets unless you get up at 6 in the morning. But I think it doesn't really matter, because you want to give a bit of a sense of what the city is during daytime, how the city is coming alive with people. And then you also have the area which is called of the Château-Vieux. There's a little bit of a history behind this castle. This castle was built on Roman. It was at the heart of a battle between the French and the English, because the English took over the region of Gascony in the 13th century. In the 15th century, the castle was rebuilt. It nearly was destroyed under Napoleon III, and now it belongs to the military. So you can't visit the castle, but it's very beautiful grounding outside. I love to photograph it. It's beautiful yellow color, and there's also very beautiful French architecture around it. So wander a little bit around there, and you might find a gorgeous salon de thé, which is called Chez Françoise. I haven't tried it because I didn't have a lot of time in Bayonne, but I definitely have a little bit of an address book in my blog post, where to eat in Bayonne. So what do you want to photograph? Grand-Bayonne. Of course you want to photograph the cathedral, you want to photograph the cloister, you want to photograph the Château-Vieux and the architecture, the French architecture around it, but also the street life, what's happening on the street. Maybe if you see a butcher next to his shop, why don't you ask him to photograph him, just to have a little bit of a feel. When you go to photograph a city, what I recommend is have a little bit of a research before you go and try to think, what do I want to come home with? What type of pictures do I want to come home with? For me, it's telling a story. What type of story do I want to tell about Bayonne? And what I wanted to tell was about the beautiful architecture, the medieval town. I was really taken by this town. To be honest, I didn't know much about Bayonne before I went, but I was really taken by it. It's such beautiful architecture. There's a wonderful feel, and I promised myself I would come back when there is a rugby match, because I can just imagine the atmosphere in there. They're really, really fanatic about their rugby, and it must be such a wonderful atmosphere. And you have so many places, great places to eat. There's also a covered market, which is called Les Halles, and it's only open in the morning, of course, but you can have lunch there as well. So there's so many places. I recommend. Don't give Bayonne a miss, especially if you're coming to Biarritz. It's really, really close, just on a bus ride. So tell me what you think about Bayonne. If you have any question, I hope you enjoyed this video. So stay tuned. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.